This mistake is killing your business, absolutely destroying your business, and you may not even be aware of it. So today, we're going to talk about this mistake that's destroying your business, killing your business, how to get off the hamster wheel, some examples of how this mistake manifests in your business. I got 6 reasons 6 ways that this manifests in your business. And then if you wait till the end of the video, I got this one question that has completely transformed the business, our business, has helped us to grow from 0 to 7 figures in only 5 years. All right? So stick around. We're going to walk through this all right now. And again, if you stay till the end, you'll get that question. Okay? Give this video a thumbs up if you like what you hear by the end of it. Okay, let's jump in. We've been in business for 7 years. And for the first few years, it was a roller coaster, an emotional roller coaster. And that's because I still had a bit of an employee's mentality. I was not taking responsibility, no accountability. I was playing the victim. It was everyone else's fault. And at the end of it, I was left with panic, anxiety, stress, and only a little bit of cash, enough to barely survive, okay? But it's once I realized that I was making this mistake, that's when things started to go like this. So, people who know me know that I'm a very emotional person, okay? My entire team has seen me cry on several occasions. I have cried during one-on-ones with team members, whether I was on the receiving end of the one-on-one or whether I was facilitating the one-on-one. This is great from a vulnerability perspective, right? It's really good. Obviously, from a leader, I like leaders and people that work for me like the fact that they can relate to me, that I'm human, and that I'm okay being vulnerable. I'm not afraid of being vulnerable. But making decisions emotionally is the biggest mistake that is killing your business today, and you may not even realize it. And you might be thinking, Riaz, I'm a bit emotional, but that's not killing my business. Okay, so then, how does this manifest in your business? We'll go through these, and you can say, hey, you know what? Maybe some of these are applicable to me, or maybe not. Okay, here we go. So what are some examples of being too emotional? Okay, the first one is no accountability. Okay, this is common for new business owners. You've typically just left a job as an employee, and let's be honest, when you're an employee, it's not your own company, it's easy to blame that system, that process, that tool, that person, Bob in HR. It's Bob in HR's fault. Stupid Bob, right? So, or it might be easy to blame your boss, right? It's my boss's fault. It's Riaz's fault, okay? So, the one thing that really helped me in those early days to not be emotional about this, which is blaming the client, blaming the tool, the system, is just defaulting, and I still do it today, and my team knows this. Okay, if we have a conflict and we're not sure whose fault it is, it's Riaz's fault. It's my fault. It's my business. Okay, so even if I wasn't directly involved with this error or mistake, by just setting the tone and saying it is always my fault, that is a great foundation to start from, right? So that has helped me quite a bit, right? Because what it does is it removes all the emotions. I'm not afraid of, I'm not afraid of being right or wrong. I'm not afraid of the consequences of being blamed, because I'm just telling everyone, guys, okay, we've made this mistake, or this client's unhappy about that, or this campaign hasn't worked for this reason. Okay, it's my fault. Now that we've established that, where do we go? Okay, so that has helped a lot. Okay, second thing, in how emotions kind of come through, victim mentality. Victim mentality. Okay, well, first I want to just say the world is not against you. Okay, for the longest time I was always in victim mentality, and I've had people, mentors and leaders kind of be like, oh, Riaz, you're always playing the victim. You're always playing the victim. And I didn't really truly understand what that meant. But victim mentality is, feeling like the world's out to get you, right? No one's out to get you. People just care about their business more than they care about your business. And that's okay, right? So realize that the world's not out to get you. Realize that people care about their business more than your business. And remember, as a service provider, it's your job. Like in my world, we're in a B2B world. It's my job to care about my client's business and our business, right? They don't need to. My clients don't need to care about our business. It's nice when they do and they leave a review, obviously, but they're paying us good money for us to care about their business. We become an extension of their team. Their business is our business, right? And they feel that, right? So just remember that when you get challenged on something, or there's some constructive criticism or feedback, it's not usually coming from a bad place. It's usually coming from a place of, you know what, I want to do what's right for my business, and I feel like you're not doing what's right for my business, so help me understand. And if you can look at that situation and be like, you know what, here's my justification, here's why I'm doing what I'm doing, not playing the victim and understanding that being challenged is a normal part of business, you'll be great, okay? Third part of reducing the mistake that's killing your business, which is being emotional, is to prioritize the business, okay? So one thing I have written down here is, if you take care of the business will take care of you, okay? And I see this happen a lot with businesses that fail, because obviously since I started the business, I've seen other businesses come and go, right? And usually it's because they are making a little bit of money, and then they're like, oh, making a little bit of money, I'm going to take some of that money and I'm going to spend some of that money on myself. And then the business doesn't have any money left, right? So for the longest time, we only kept marginal profits in the business and reinvested a lot of it back into the business. And you need to take care of the business so that the business will take care of you. If you don't take care of the business won't take care of you. It's like a lot of things. It's like the plant. Did you water the plant? If you water the plant, the plant will bloom, right? It's like having a kid, right? I always compare running a business to having children, right? If you take care of your kids, they will grow up to be good kids, good young adults, and good, perhaps maybe good parents, right? And I guess the hopefully when I'm kind of old and decrepit, that my kids are there to take care of me because I've taken care of them, right? So I would say what you put into it, it'll give back to you. And I think people take their chips off the table too early because they see a little bit of money. And I mean, it's emotional in a different way because kind of greed. But whatever you can do to take care of your business, do that first, right? If you take care of the business will take care of you. Okay. Number 4, emotional thing that happens in your business that may be killing it if you're not careful. Okay. Being on the reactive roller coaster. Okay. In business, there's going to be highs and lows. And in those early days, you're going to be in the roller coaster cart, kind of going up and down, and you're going to get an email of a client that wants to spend a lot of money with you, and then the very next email is going to be your best employee leaving, and then the next email is going to be a huge government grant, and then the next email is going to be a client getting upset. And if you are in the roller coaster, you're kind of feeling all the feels throughout that, and it's very anxiety inducing. And what that does is it kind of stirs with your brain, and it compels you to make decisions emotionally. So what is the alternative, you ask, right? Because it's natural to take this person. I mean, look, it's my head is on the shingle. My name is on the shingle of the business. So it's natural for you to take it personally. But what you need to do is you need to get off the roller coaster, okay? And you need to watch the roller coaster. And you want to be the roller coaster operator and not someone in the roller coaster. Because if you're the operator, you can be like, oh, here comes the high. Oh, here comes the low. Here's another high. Here's a loop-de-loop, right? So that you can anticipate for anything and you can prepare yourself for anything. And I think this is why seasoned business owners, they get a bit of a thick skin, right? Because they never let the highs get too high and they never get the lows too low. And you might think, why are business owners, some of them that are experienced, they're like, they never get super happy and they never get super down? It's because they've been blindsided and surprised so many times by unexpected news, and they were in the roller coaster instead of being the roller coaster operator. Okay, so be the operator, and I guess the other part of that is also like disconnect yourself, the person, from yourself, the shingle, right? Like me and CDIO, we are different people. I work at CDIO, I get a paycheck just like everyone else, and I am the caretaker. I'm the person responsible for making sure that the business is taken care of, right? Do I benefit by taking the majority of the risk? Yes. But you also want to make sure that you are being responsible, and as I said in the previous point, taking care of the business, okay? Business is personal. There's this line, it's like, business isn't personal, and I'm sure you've all heard this before. Business isn't personal. It's very personal. It's a very personal thing, right? Like, the promises you make to people, the deals you make when you shake your hand, is your word good for it? Do you follow through? Do you pay your vendors? Do you take care of your staff? Like, these are all things that are a true reflection of who you are as a person, right? If you run shifty business, you're a shifty person. If you run an ethical business, you're an ethical person, right? So, like, don't kid yourself into thinking that no one's going to figure it out, right? And this kind of ties into the previous, because let's be honest. In business, there will be tempting situations. There will be situations in which you are forced to say no to a lot of money, or forced to say no to a big opportunity, because there might be a better focus that's going to make you more money in the long run, right? Or there's a better opportunity, or it's too big of a risk. You know, like, it's like having someone who's very talented on your team, but they're very toxic, right? It's like, which one, like, you know, do you need the talent? That's a short-term thing. Or do you want to get rid of the toxicity, which is going to help you in the long term, right? So business is personal. Remember that. Here's another one that's kind of an emotional angle, right? Which is, I have an expletive here, which I tend not to swear on these videos, but here we go. F the competition. Look, see, I bailed on swearing. Okay, F the competition. So, and I don't mean that in a, like, like, F the competition. I mean, like, don't even worry about it. Like, so when, I think one of the reasons that we've grown as well as we have is because we haven't concerned ourselves with what competition's doing. We know who they are locally, but I wouldn't even consider local competitors because, look, I'm in an industry, digital marketing, which is global in nature. Like, we're not competing against people in Ottawa or even Canada. We're competing against people all over the world, right? So it's actually funny. I have an interesting story here where a competitor, I was introduced to them at a trade show last year. And so the person that introduced us says, hey, like, do you know Bob? I'm just gonna make it up. Do you know Bob? This is Riaz. I said, oh, and Bob says, yeah, I know Riaz. He's one of my competitors. And I go to Bob. I said, no, I don't think, I think you're mistaken, Bob. And he's like, oh, really? What do you mean? He's like, you do the same thing that I do. And I said, well, not exactly. Like, you know, I would say that we can do better together and collaborate against kind of the world and do a good thing for the Ottawa business community by, you know, putting ourselves on the map for digital marketing. And this kind of took him aback, being like, oh, okay, that's how you see things. And the reason I bring up this angle, this point, is like, is he a competitor? Sure. But it's like, if you worry about that, you're going to make emotional business decisions based on responding and reacting to what that person's doing. It's like, I don't care what he's doing. Like, I care what I'm doing. I care what our clients are doing. And so it's good to know who competitors are, but remember that your bar is only as high as your competitors if you're focused on that, right? If you're focused on raising the bar for your industry and for your clients and for, like, what's possible, you're going to take it to another level, a global level, right? And I would just say that don't let competition become a reason that you're emotional, right? And I've seen this happen to people in the industry, in many industries actually, though. I've never really focused on competition. They can focus on each other. That's fine. It's a different mindset, right? I'm not worried about what they're doing because I know what we're doing is superior, right? And so, you know, you just have that mindset, and I'm sure there's things I can learn from them and they can learn from me and all that stuff. I would rather be collaborative in nature, and because there's an abundance of opportunities. That also kind of ties in from an emotional perspective. I think people are afraid of competition because they think that there are a finite number of opportunities out there. If you believe that there's an abundance of opportunities, that I can help anyone with a business, you'll get more opportunities, right? And by focusing on competition, you're thinking too small, okay? Okay, one thing I'll say to caveat this whole thing, which is sometimes it is important to have emotions play in a certain amount, a little bit, into your decision-making process. And what I mean by that is that, look, business is difficult. Starting a business, growing a business is difficult because you know what? In the beginning, no one's going to believe you can do it. You might not even believe you can do it. But you have to use those powerful motivation, momentum, emotions to say, hey, you know what? Like, I'm doing this, and it's going to be massive. And that's where emotion comes in. Emotion, you grow the business by not being emotional, but you have to, like, you create the vision, you cast the vision right here in your heart, right? We're going to be massive. Like, you need to believe that in your core, even if no one else believes it, right? And you have to manifest that. So all entrepreneurs, I have a note here, all entrepreneurs have a certain degree of, I can make something impossible possible. And you can't lose that. If you lose that, it's not gonna work out. So use emotions the right way to push the envelope on what is possible. Okay. Now, if you've watched this far, thank you. Secondly, comment below on anything emotions related or other business killers that you think exist out there that I might have missed. But now, for that much awaited question, the question that I'm sure you've been like, hey, Riaz, need that question that's going to transform my business. And this is a question that my team, they hear quite a lot from me, right? It actually forces people to reflect on whether they are being emotional or whether they have an agenda or whether they think I'm being emotional or that I have an agenda. Okay, here's the question. This question was taught to me by a good mentor, and here it is. Okay, is this the right thing to do for the business? Simple. You're probably like, oh, underwhelming. It might be, but is this the right thing to do for the business? Okay, if you ask that question when you make any business decision, that should be the first thing that you say. That's like the first qualifier. Is this the right thing to do for the business? Right? Should I go to should I take everyone to the fanciest restaurant? It's going to cost me tens of thousands of dollars. Or should I take them to the McDonald's? Right? What's the right thing to do for the business? Right? The right thing to do for the business is to take care of your employees by taking them to a very good place, but also to a reasonable place that's not going to break the bank. So somewhere in the middle, right? So like, that's just one example. But for anything in your business, you should be saying, is this the right thing for the business? And I find that is what helps to create leaders in businesses. When I was an employee at my last job, the reason that I was able to elevate and grow my career so much is because I was an intrapreneur, right? And good entrepreneurs they ask themselves that question, is this the right thing for the business? Because what that does is it removes the fact of, oh, am I going to get paid more for this? Or am I going to get a promotion for this? Or are people going to look at me a certain way because of that? Or you kind of remove yourself from the politics, you remove yourself from everything, and you're just saying, is this the right thing for the business? Because I can assure you one thing, if you take care of the business will take care of you. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Do not let this mistake kill your business of being too emotional, and I will see you next time.